Hey guys, Dr. Orna here, coming back at you with more about what's going on with wildfires and what you can do to stay as healthy as possible while there's apocalyptic smoke in the middle of a pandemic. So one thing that I've seen on social media a lot in the past day and a half is people talking about herbal steams. So putting a pot or a crock pot out, gently boiling the water so that steam goes in the air. I want to say that this is a 2 thumbs up great idea. So I want to talk for a minute about how it works and then a little bit about how to do it and what herbs you can use. So just want to say that inside my house, it's pretty tight, but there are some rooms, including this one, that are a little smoky, and cleaning up a little bit, I'm noticing a fine layer of dust on everything. And that's the stuff that is getting into our lungs that we want to not be in our lungs. It's super small and it's hard for our bodies to get rid of, and it kind of lodges in deeply there. And it is linked not only to lung disease, but to heart disease. So anything that we can do to keep the fine particulates out of our air would be great. I'm noticing myself that my heart is racing a little bit. I just did my pulse ox and it was a little bit low. Then I went and I stood by my air filter and it got better. So at least I know that that's working. So this is a DIY idea that you can do even if you have almost nothing else available to you. So the idea is to get droplets of in the air. And we're so familiar these days with the idea of respiratory droplets. So, when you exhale, you breathe out droplets of different sizes. Some are larger and some are the aerosol, super small ones. And the idea of physical distancing that we're familiar with from the past 6+ months, the idea behind that is that any virus that is in those droplets, it's surrounded by liquid, and then the liquid, when it comes out, is heavy, it has weight, and so it pulls it down to the ground. So the idea is if you stay far away from people, the droplets that come out of this person will fall before they get to you if you're a certain distance apart. Aerosols, it is a further distance because there's not as much weight of the liquid to drop things out of the air, right? So that's the negative that we've been experiencing. But in wildfire season, with all of this smoke, we can use some of those same ideas of basic physics to our advantage. So you may have noticed if you're taking showers, if you're able to take showers right now, that maybe you breathe a little better when you're done with the shower. That the mist from the shower basically pulls whatever particles are in the air, grabs them, and drops them to the ground. So this is what we want to do. And we can do this by, again, just gently simmering water on the stove, or if you have a crock pot that you can plug in. All of these things are great. So people talk about herbs to use for this. Bottom line is, it will work even without herbs. The herbs just make it smell better. They do have a bit of a detoxifying function, but you don't need herbs to make this work. So if you don't have them, don't worry about them. I went out with my N95 mask and I picked some rosemary from the bush in my front yard. This is really trimmings. This is not stuff that I could rinse it and use it for food if I wanted to, but I have enough that I could just use this as kind of like the prunings and the ugly bits. So rosemary is a great one for this. And then also my neighbors have 2 big Douglas fir trees in the front yard right next door to me. And we had those big winds that have been driving the fires, right? So a lot of fir branches came down. So any of the conifers, see the cone? All of the conifers pretty much will be useful for this. I wouldn't use yew, YEW, taxus species, but I'm sure even for this it's fine. So really any of those conifers, if you've got down needles, down branches, you can just take these and put them in the water that's simmering on your stove. Replenish it as needed, or just leave it. Again, just plain water will be fine. If you don't have access to a hot plate or a burner of any kind to boil water like that. Drinking tea, just sort of hovering over the hot water from the tea, or which you know, some people are in hotels and might have coffee pots where they can heat up water. So coffee would do that too. So any boiling water, but also just turning on the shower. You don't want to leave it on forever, but turning on the shower every now and then just to get some steam out into your environment and drop those particles can be really helpful. So please stay safe and stay strong. We are all in this together. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions or if there's anything else that you'd like me to do videos about. And stay safe. Bye.